everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. In an effort to deliver you all of your need-to-know information about the various Disney Vacation Club home resorts at Walt Disney World property, we're doing this Fast Facts series. You'll find basic information, and I also try to highlight any quirks about the rooms and the property that may make it a love or hate home resort for you. So in today's video, we will be covering fast facts about the Polynesian Villas and Bungalows. Stay tuned. Opened in 2015, the Poly Villas are not a standalone Disney Vacation Club resort. Rather, they are part of the overall Polynesian resort at Walt Disney World. As one of the newer Disney Vacation Club properties, the Poly Villas and Bungalows are not yet even 7 years old, so there are no refurbishments to report. The entire Polynesian Village resort area, including the DVC area, is themed to a Pacific oasis. It feels very tiki-inspired to me. There is lush vegetation everywhere. That island ambiance is apparent everywhere you go. Even the pathways are lined with lights that look like tiki torches. The DVC part of the Poly does not have its own lobby, so your lobby is going to be the Polynesian Village lobby. This lobby used to have a massive waterfall, but sadly that was recently removed. The lobby now highlights a small rock water feature with a charming tiki god on top. That's Maui. There are also massive windows in the back of the lobby that let a ton of light in. And usually there's soft tropical music playing in the background as well. Overall, the resort is open, airy, and light. And if you're looking for more of that Disney vibe and less tiki vibe, well, you can head to the second floor of the lobby where you will find the monorail. The Polynesian, both the standard deluxe hotel as well as the Disney Vacation Club part, are well loved. And by that, I don't mean run down, just that they have an enormous loyal fan base. Every Disney Vacation Club home resort has vocal fans, but in my opinion, the Poly's fans are some of the loudest. Because the fan base for the Polynesian is so loud and large, Disney knows how popular it is, and that means it comes at a bit of a premium. So let's talk about cost. The initial purchase price at the Polynesian is steep. Directly through Disney right now, it's $235 per point. This is the second highest initial price directly through Disney, coming in second only to the Grand Floridian. And following suit, the resale prices are generally relatively high as well. You will typically find resale contracts for the Poly around $150 per point. That is, of course, huge savings when you compare it to buying direct from Disney, but when you compare that resale price to other home resorts' resale prices, again, it's one of the most expensive. Staying in a studio will cost you between 111 and 143 points for a single week at the lowest DVC season in 2021. Even at that lowest possible amount, 111 points for 1 week, that is still pretty dang expensive. That weekly total is less than at the Grand Floridian and less than some views at Bay Lake Tower, but that's it. So the points you'll need to stay at the Polynesian are also relatively high. And that was just for the studio. The other option here are those Bora Bora bungalows, and those are incredibly expensive. The bungalows are a 2-bedroom and will cost you well over 800 points for a single week. For reference, you can stay in a 3-bedroom grand villa at other resorts for less points than that. So your initial purchase price is relatively high and the points you'll need is also relatively high, but in better news, the annual dues is pretty low. In 2020, annual dues at the Polynesian were the 4th least expensive, coming in at around $6.76 per point. Overall cost of the Polynesian is just relatively high. Although your annual dues are low, that initial purchase price is high, and you'll need to purchase a fair amount of points. The contract here doesn't expire until 2066 though, so if you divide that cost up over the next 40 years, the per year cost isn't too bad. The DVC inventory here is 380 rooms. That is 20 of the overwater Bora Bora bungalows and 360 deluxe studios. Studios sleep up to 5 people, and the Bora Bora bungalows sleep up to 8 people. And that's it. There are no 1-bedrooms, there are no standard 2-bedrooms, and there are no grand villas. Your choices here are studio or bungalow. These rooms are spread out across 3 different buildings called longhouses at the Polynesian resort area, and then the bungalows are of course over water. Apologies in advance for any mispronunciations, of which unfortunately I'm sure there will be many. The longhouses you'll find the studios in are Pago Pago, Takalau, and Moria. Now, the Polynesian was an original resort when Walt Disney World opened, meaning it was built sort of to those standards. And the DVC rooms weren't newly built for DVC, they just took over existing longhouses. So what this means basically is the studios are massive. The studios measure about 450 square feet, which is huge compared to all the other studios for DVC on property. For comparison, studios at the Boardwalk Resort are only about 360 square feet. Also, studios at the Poly offer almost 2 bathrooms, which is fairly unique. I say almost because while there are 2 sinks and 2 showers, there is only 1 toilet. So if you ask me, a bathroom without a toilet is not a full bathroom. Studios come in 2 views, standard and lake. From a standard view room, your view will be garden area, pool, partial lagoon, or parking lot views. Rooms in Pago Pago ending in 1 through 12 will be directly facing that parking lot. And unfortunately, this means it can be noisy in the morning when everyone's up and getting ready to go off to the parks. However, on the flip side, if you do have one of these parking lot view rooms, you can also almost always see the monorail directly. It's a beautiful monorail view room. Lake view rooms will of course look out onto the lake, but naturally the ground floor will have the most obstructed view of the lake. However, even on the ground floor, you're likely to be able to see the fireworks, and you may have partial views of the castle as well as Space Mountain. These views will be situated between the Bora Bora bungalows, so how unobstructed your view is really does vary from every room. But of course, the least unobstructed views tend to be on higher floors, so be sure to put in that room request. And note for all of you folks staying in the studios that the laundry for DVC is located in the Moria Longhouse. The bungalows are around 1,650 square feet. Again, this is very huge for a 2-bedroom accommodation. In comparison, Old Key West 2-bedrooms are almost 1,400 square feet, and that's also considered relatively massive. The 2 bedrooms at the Riviera and the Grand Floridian, which come in at next largest, are under 1,300 square feet. So that 1,650 square feet in those bungalows truly is huge. Bungalows sit out over the water, and they all have their own private plunge pool as well as private decks. From any bungalow, you will have amazing Magic Kingdom views across the Seven Sea Lagoon. Since this is not a standalone DVC resort, you will be using the free transportation offered to all of the Polynesian guests. You are on the monorail line, so you can easily access that resort monorail loop from the Great Ceremonial House. However, you can also just walk over to the Ticket and Transportation Center, which is very, very close. In fact, the DVC longhouses are some of the closest buildings at the Polynesian to the TTC. And from the TTC, you can go ahead and take a direct monorail to the Magic Kingdom or to Epcot. Quick access to the TTC, and therefore very fast access to 2 separate theme parks, is part of the reason why the Polynesian is so well loved. But if you'd rather travel by water, you can also take a boat to the Magic Kingdom. This boat sails the Seven Sea Lagoons, meaning you will also be sharing it with guests from the Grand Floridian. For access to Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, you will be taking a bus. The bus stop is located outside the Great Ceremonial House, and note that sometimes buses are shared between the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian. If you're bringing a car, you can park right out front the Pago Pago Longhouse. Depending on where you're staying, you might not be able to park right in front of your villa, and if it's raining, there really isn't cover between where you park and where your building is. But overall, parking is going to be fairly close to your accommodations. So there's loads of very close transportation options. But note, being that close to the transportation can mean extra noise, particularly if you're in one of those lake view rooms. When boats are running, they will sound their horn, so this can be a big problem if you're not a morning person. You may not enjoy those sounds in the morning. For recreation, the Polynesian Resort features 2 pools. The main pool is called the Lava Pool and is near the Great Ceremonial House. Per the name, the pool has a small volcano structure featuring a lava rock facade. There's also a 142-foot water slide. The pool area also features a whirlpool and a kiddie area. From the pool area, there are super stunning views of Cinderella Castle across the Seven Sea Lagoon. The second pool is the Oasis Pool, and that's not too far from the Tokelau Longhouse. This pool was recently renovated in 2016 and is the quiet pool option at your resort. Both of the pools at the Poly feature 0 entry. Other recreation options at the Poly include watercraft rentals, a fitness center, volleyball. There's a beach where you can hang out, and notably at night you can see the Magic Kingdom fireworks from here, and they do pipe in the music to the beach. Campfires, a jogging route, a barbecue area, and views of the electrical water pageant. The Poly does not have its own spa, but you can pretty easily access the spa at the Grand Floridian. That spa building is actually located about halfway between the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian, so it's really not too far. You're also fairly close to the Oak Trail and Magnolia golf courses. If you don't want to hop on the monorail to explore World Showcase to eat, the Polynesian has plenty of really great options for dining. The Spirit of Aloha dinner show is offered multiple times nightly and features all you care to eat and drink. This is a dinner show though, truly, so it is a long experience. Be prepared to be there for about 2 hours or even a little longer. Also, this show is weather pending, so it can get canceled at the last minute, and note that not every seat is an equal view. Ohana is another all-you-care-to-eat table service option that offers breakfast as well as dinner. At breakfast, Ohana is a character meal featuring Lilo and Stitch. Mickey and Pluto usually also make an appearance. Dinner is a pretty meat-heavy meal with skewers of chicken, steak, and shrimp making their way around as often as you'd like. Personally, I love the pork dumpling appetizer served here more than anything else. Tambu Lounge is the lounge next to Ohana, and it's open during the evenings. Come here for delicious drinks and appetizer types foods, and you can typically order some of the foods offered at Ohana as well. Tambu Lounge also offers that famous Lapu Lapu, which is a rum drink inside of a pineapple. Kona Cafe is a more casual option, but it is still a table service meal. You can eat here for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and they offer Asian fusion cuisine, including that very famous Tonga toast at breakfast. Also, true to the name, they have Kona Coffee. If you want coffee without the full meal though, check out the nearby coffee bar, Kona Island, for drinks and pastries. Captain Cook's is your quick service option at the Polynesian, and it's open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night. There's a variety of food here like flatbread, sandwiches, and baked goods. They have an Aloha pork sandwich here that I think is well worth the price. And there's also grab-and-go offerings if you're in a rush. Here's where you'll refill those refillable mugs. Captain Cook's is one of the best quick service options at a resort in my opinion. Trader Sam's Grog Grotto is the tiki bar located off the main lobby. The main reason to go here is excellent tiki cocktails as well as a wonderfully themed area. It is very popular though and usually is super busy as it has quite limited indoor seating. But the atmosphere is truly phenomenal and really something you'll only experience at Trader Sam's. And both pools have a pool bar. There's the Oasis Bar and Grill, which offers drinks, sandwiches, and salads, that kind of pool type food. And then the Barefoot Pool Bar over by the lava pool has a ton of very fun specialty drinks. Finally, there's Pineapple Lanai. This is a quick service that offers Dole Whips. So you don't even have to go into the Magic Kingdom to get a Dole Whip, you can just stop by Pineapple Lanai. And yes, they do even offer Dole Whips with a rum floater if that is what you're interested in. The shops at the Polynesian are Boutique and Moana Mercantile. In the latter, you'll find snacks, grab-and-go type food, and small grocery items. Before we wrap up on this Fast Facts video, let me offer a brief warning that is purely speculation. Again, this is not at all based in fact. Disney has not announced anything alluding to this. The bungalows are often kind of empty. Simply put, they just don't get booked a ton, likely because the point cost is so dang high. The total amount of points in any given resort is essentially static. DVC can't just add or subtract more points randomly to make things work out better for them. Meaning that if DVC ever decides to lower the point cost of the bungalows in order to get those booked more often, that means those points have to go somewhere. And the only logical place for them to go would be to raise the point cost of the studios. Remember, there are no 1 bedrooms, normal 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedrooms to spread that out over. So it really would just be the studio point cost gets affected if the bungalow cost changes. So if they do ever lower the point cost of the bungalows, then the cost of the studios will need to increase. Again, this is complete speculation, nothing has been announced, but it's just something to think about when you're considering the Polynesian as your home resort. So there are your fast facts about the Polynesian Villas and Bungalows. If you found this information helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thanks so much to all the returning viewers and subscribers. I'm glad you enjoy the content and it really means a lot to me. If you do watch my videos regularly but you aren't yet subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. If you want to chat about anything Disney, leave a comment down below, or you can find me on other social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram at PixieDustPhD. Does the lack of a 1-bedroom villa option for the DVC side of the Polynesian bother you at all? And how about those point costs? Or is the view of the Magic Kingdom as well as easy access to Epcot and Magic Kingdom totally worth it to you? I can't wait to hear what you think in the comments down below. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely splendid, and we'll see you real soon at PixieDustPhD.